Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Barbeno's World. There's one item that I always seem to not have enough of, and that item is the beacon. In fact, I actually only have one beacon in this world, and I always just have to be picking it up and carrying it around to wherever I might need it. And that gets really annoying, but the issue is that beacons are really hard to actually get, and that's because you need to collect 3 wither skulls, which are an extremely rare drop that you can only get from wither skeletons that spawn in nether fortresses. Now, when I got this beacon, it took me about 1 hour or more of collecting wither skulls just for this one beacon. And I decided that I'm going to build a farm for these wither skeletons. Now, normally wither skeleton farms are actually extremely difficult to build, one of the hardest farms in Minecraft in fact, and yeah, I was really hesitant to build one until I saw this design by Sharpfang on the Technical Minecraft subreddit. And it uses an old concept of player-based killing farms, and basically, if a wither skeleton is standing on this platform out here, and the player is in here, and they're in survival, the wither skeletons can still see the player, but no other mobs like blazes can really target them. And the reason for this is that wither skeletons have a much larger hitbox than any of the other mobs that will be spawning on my farm. As you can see here, when the player is standing on a daylight sensor, just like I am in the farm, and has 2 blocks in front of him, he can just barely see over the edge, and the wither skeleton can also see directly through this. So if a wither skeleton, if the red line of a wither skeleton can line up with the red line of the player, then it will track towards that player. But the shorter mobs like blazes can't track the player because they're too low. Unfortunately, when the player does fall down the chute, there's a very short period where the player is visible through this crack, and sometimes blazes will start shooting at you. So that's just something I need to watch out for when I'm using the farm. So all you have to do is lure the wither skeletons into this hole over here. And once they're in, you can just hit at them with your sword and get the wither skulls. It's not particularly fast, but it does the trick. This farm also uses some clever mechanics to get wither skeletons to spawn only down here in the farm. And basically what it does is you have to go into this portal, which teleports you really high up in the overworld. We are almost at build height, and when you go back into the portal, it teleports you to a near portal on the nether side, which is, yeah, almost at build height here. So you stand in this block and press this button that drops you down right here, and your fall is cushioned by these ladders. And when you're here, this is when the mobs start to spawn. As you can see, the mob caps are not full, and if you stay here for about 30 seconds, they will fill up. After about 30 seconds here, you can drop down using this button again, and it takes you through a hole in the bedrock, all the way down into this killing chamber that I showed you before. Now if you're in survival, you can do the same thing with luring the wither skeletons right in here, and it's super easy. Here in survival, I'm collecting up all the resources I need for the farm. One of the hardest things to get is probably going to be the nether bricks. I need 18 stacks of those, so I should probably AFK at this piglin bartering farm for a while so that I can finish up the 18 stacks. Okay, I'm back. I've completely finished collecting the resources for this project, and I decided to collect a bunch of black concrete and glowstone so that I could build a cool sort of spiral drop chute for when you fall down into the farm. And I've built up the first part of it right behind me. Here it is. And yeah, I think it's just gonna look really cool when you fall down it and like you see the spiral going around. At the bottom of this drop chute, I've also broken the bedrock block here. And yeah, I didn't get it on camera, but yeah, I finally got that bedrock breaking technique to work. And down below this, if I go into spectator, you can see that there is the same nether fortress that I showed you in the creative world. Yeah, here it is. It's in the Soul Sand Valley biome, which is the ideal biome for spawning rates in this sort of farm. Okay, right here, I now have to make the sort of stopping point where the player has to wait for the mobs to spawn. We'll put a button here that you can use to trigger the trapdoor. We'll put another trapdoor here. And we need to power this trapdoor from behind using a lever. And then above this, we need to put a ladder so that you can catch yourself on it and not take any fall damage when you fall from the upper spot. Okay. Now I just need to continue this spiral all the way up to almost build height. Now that we're at the top, we need to do another one of those. Trapdoor things. So a trapdoor goes here with a button above it, and then we need another trapdoor to align the player. The top trapdoor needs to be powered so that it goes in the proper direction. Perfect. Now, I'm kind of worried about testing this out because I might just end up dying of fall damage, so yeah, let's do it. Okay, that's definitely a fail. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Okay, so I finally figured out why the system wasn't working, and basically when I built it here, it was one block higher than when I built it in creative. So I lowered it down by one block, and for some reason it works now. I'm not sure exactly why this is, but at least I fixed it. Also, I really like how the glowstone spiral pattern turned out in this area. Up here, I need to build up the top nether portal, which is going to be a 3x3 square of obsidian. I'm also going to put a sort of platform up here so that I can fly into the farm. Right now we need to take down the coordinates of this middle bottom portal block. Now I need to light the portal and go into the overworld and build a corresponding portal there. Here's the corresponding block that perfectly matches the nether portal on the other side. So let's just remove this one and pillar up from here. Build another one at build height. Now that we're up here, we just need to build the other portal, just like this, and then build a small room here just to enclose us. Now let's light up this portal and go back to the nether. Perfect. Okay, the next thing we have to do is actually dig into the main nether by just digging straight down from here, and hopefully we don't die. Okay, I've dug down into the main nether. As you can see, there's the Soul Sand Valley biome, and in the top right corner, there's a little bit of the nether fortress. We can build a scaffolding tower like this by dropping it down here. now that we've built this, we can safely get up and down from the nether roof. And yeah, it's pretty dangerous down here because it's one of the more dangerous biomes with ghasts and skeletons spawning, and also the nether fortress has those dangerous mobs. So I'm gonna have to be really careful while I'm building this farm. Okay, so we're right down here below our hole in the ceiling, and this daylight sensor is gonna be the center point of our entire farm. Right now I'm just gonna build the simple killing chamber around it. Okay, down by the killing chamber we also have the portal to get back up, so we're lighting that up here. I'm back, and this killing room is complete. Oh no. In this room, we have the killing area, which is right here. All the wither skeletons should be lured down into this pit, and you can just hit them with your sword. On this side, we have the nether portal, which takes you back up to the top. So let's go back up to the top and test the drop chute all the way down. So we just need to stand right here and press this button, and we should be dropped. Here we are at the first station, and now let's drop all the way down to the chamber. Perfect. Okay, now that I've got that finished, I have one more thing to do, and that is to build out this spawning floor. And I guess I should also finish the drop chute here. In order to build the spawning floor, I need to build a big platform of nether brick that's inside of the bounding box of the nether fortress. I'm using the mini HUD mod to do an overlay of the bounding box. As you can see, over here, it has a big box for that other nether fortress, and here's the box for this nether fortress, which is mostly underground and stuff. So, this entire farm needs to be in my sort of spawning zone while I'm at the top, sort of waiting for the mobs to spawn. So, in addition to being inside of this box, it also needs to be inside of the spawning sphere of the player, which is here. So that means the maximum size that we can do is a big circle that goes out to about here. So yeah, I'm gonna build up this spawning floor, and I'll probably do it in a time lapse because it'll look pretty messy with all of these renderers on. Yeah, I started to build the farm, and I was killed by a wither skeleton, and I'm trying to recover my stuff, and I'm gonna be killed again. I think I'm gonna go back to the base and brew myself some invisibility potions so that I can actually do this without being killed repeatedly. Okay, so I've died a few more times and I lost all of my stuff. Actually it's still in the nether, but it's gonna be really hard to get there because I don't have an elytra anymore. So I'm gonna go try try to get there with some ender pearls to recover all of my stuff, and then I will just put all of my stuff away safely, then I can actually get back to working on the farm. I need to find my items. Here they are. Okay everyone, I'm finally back, and the farm is complete, and I'm just gonna test it out for the first time now. So, yeah, I'm gonna set my spawn point up here, and also put all of my items in this chest, just so that I don't accidentally die. Okay, let's go. So we'll just go through this portal, and we'll end up at the top of the farm. Okay, now we can drop down our drop chute. Now I need to wait here for about 30 seconds for mobs to spawn. Okay, now we can drop down. Again, hopefully not die. And lure all of the wither skeletons into this hole. Now all I have to do is keep doing this process over and over again until I get a bunch of wither skulls. Welcome back everybody. I've spent about 17 minutes using the wither skeleton farm, and as you can see here I have 3 wither skeleton skulls, and that's exactly the amount that we need to make a beacon. In order to actually convert these wither skeleton skulls into a beacon, I've come here to the end dimension. I need to go under this bedrock portal, and yeah, I set up this the first time that I killed the wither, and it's just a obsidian T shape, and we spawn the wither on top of that, just like so. After that, we're completely safe and we won't be able to take damage from it. So let's do that now. Okay, the wither is spawned. There it is. Okay, now we can go down and start finishing it off. Once we kill the wither, it drops this nether star. Now we can craft the nether star into a beacon just like this. Alright, so I want to put my beacon right here in the biggest tower of my castle. And the best way to do this is to dig all the way down to the bedrock at the bottom of the world, because that way the beacon has the largest range. I've set up the beacon base pyramid down here with some iron blocks, and now I can place this beacon and it should go up all the way through the roof of our building. I think I will set it to jump boost and regeneration. I also put a piece of orange glass at the top of this building so that it looks orange. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode today, in which we built a pretty good wither skeleton farm. Yeah, not the most efficient design, but it beats collecting them manually. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. See you in the next episode.